Hello, I'm Ren, Explain Card Decks, or Connor, and welcome back to Paintober. This is day 18, still on Galvanus, sadly, but I do have a little fancy thing that I've done voice-wise on it, so maybe that will make up for it, and it's coming up here in a second. Probably won't be doing this for many other things. I only wanted to really play around with what was a setting in my audio stuff, so I figured I might as well figure that out. But otherwise, I did do quite a lot of these little highlights and stuff that made it look pretty freaking nice. I messed it all up by shading later down the line, though, and I was pretty sad about that. Anyways, here's the lore of Sgt Galvanus.
Position, Sergeant of the Redeemed Section, Class 4 Leader Galvanus. Title given by Bercoy Crivmorn, Chapter Master of the Bronze Consul, also a Redeemed. This data slate is meant to archive information based on the Redeemed mission held by the Bronze Consul. I was asked to refrain from menial descriptions and only state who I am and how I got to where I am. As far as my mind roams, this is the earliest of my memory. Trapped beneath rubble, blackened vision of unknowable certainty, cemented in warping reinforcement. A blast shook my core as light began blinding my vision for but a moment. A hand reached toward me, clad in ceramite, figures in armor I hadn't seen. Placed in my belief, I attempted to struggle, shouting, "Heretics!" But a voice rang out, said, "Galvanus, brother, you've been sealed for too long. What do you remember?" My rage broke as I had not known my name. Lieutenant Quake Wilhelm assisted me in standing and continued to elaborate who I was, but it felt as though a name I never heard was placed on my head, and I had not remembered what had happened over many, many years. That is where my recollection ends, and Scribes hath written the rest of this event. There are few like me, unknowing of their original purpose, but I feel since the event I still hear a calling, not of cracked voice and broken soliloquy, but of radiance and revelry, a chant that I and my brothers call into battle. My calling absolute, as my emperor is behind me.
Hey, look at that. Isn't that some cool stuff? Anyways, that is the lore of Sergeant Galvanus, which is not too... it's not too much. He doesn't really know too much about his past. However, a certain character was named of Quake Wilhelm, who does actually have kind of more of an idea as to what the hell is going on, as well as a name drop for the chapter master of Bercoy Crivmorn, which is, I like that name. I want to note Quake Wilhelm and Bercoy Crivmorn are both characters I have in Skyrim. They were, I believe, my two first ever characters I made in Skyrim. And Bercoy Crivmorn even followed me into D&D. That was my first character I ever made for D&D, was Bercoy Crivmorn Hillbriar, a dragonborn ranger. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but it is what it is. Look at this base. This base looks kind of fancy. I decided to do some stuff that I did not do a great job with, in all honesty. This stripe is rough. I don't really have anything to mark down the stripes or assist me in how they are painted, so that part's just it's really just on me because I didn't know how the hell to paint yellow or with stripe. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a base, and it's going to look a certain way. It does look better later down the line, I guess, once the mini's actually on it, but for right now, it was a little rough. It was a little rough. But, I mean, all in all, while he's on the base and stuff like that, it doesn't look half bad, I suppose. And I am researching how to make better hazard stripes, because now that I've done this for one mini, I have to put a stripe or however many stripes on all the other ones. So, isn't that just my luck? But that's beside the point. Anyways, it is pretty good. It was pretty good. I am probably not gonna post too much about the lore of the Bronze Consul, which is what I've decided the chapter to be named as, which I just thought was one of the coolest things, the Bronze Consul. But I mean, oh well. It won't be picked up probably. Hopefully not. Then I got to work with Games Workshop on it, and that'd be terrible. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a mix and match of various models, which I'm totally fine with. And these models actually look really good, especially when they're painted. And once they have all their details and stuff on them, they'll look exponentially better from what I have them right now. And I have been practicing recently on some of the new models, but I believe that is like day 24, day 25, I think is when that comes out. And that will be some stuff I'm testing, which is I've been watching a person. Do some painting stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to mimic that and see how that looks. And so I wound up doing that for those models, and they turned out pretty good. But I obviously didn't have the right paints to be doing what I was trying to do, especially not because I don't have any contrast paints. So that's a little rough on me. But other than that, I mean, they still came out pretty well. I just had to thin down and do some extra stuff to try and make it look fancy. I made this base look pretty rad, right? And then I just mess it completely up by trying to fix my lines with black. I was really sad. That was like the model. I messed up my model by painting it, or adding too much shade to it afterwards. And it still looks good, but there was a lot of those highlights that I was like, oh, I messed them up. Which it's all part of the learning experience. I know that now, whenever I do that sort of stuff, I'll be a better idea as to what I'm going to do with that and how I'm going to paint those pieces and stuff like that, which will be all right, but it's all part of the learning process. Obviously, these are brand new models to me, so I didn't really know exactly what I was going to try, what I was going to figure out, stuff like that. But I've gathered at least some semblance of an idea as to what I really want to aim for on those models. I noticed something here is that this little three-stripe I've done reminds me a lot of like a Wolverine claw mark. I don't know why, but it just, I was like, hey, wait a minute, that looks pretty rad, so I thought that was cool. I'm adding the orange in here for the stripes. Really I should have done a much better job. I'm doing a shade of just straight up Nuln Oil on these as well, making it look kind of nice, dirty, grungy base. It's not, at the end of the day, Space Marines are in the muck most of the time, so it's better to make your base look pretty dang dirty than to have it be a full pristine tactical rock, you know? But I mean, it's okay. It's an alright base for the homie. Here I add a little bit more shading. Like, look at all those nice little highlights he has on him. And I just mess all that up by throwing some shade on it. I was very disappointed in myself for doing that. The cape on the red side could have used a little work, but I just didn't know what I was going to do about that. Also, the white here that I've painted, just on camera, it looks way better than if I tried to paint it with like white scar. Thank God. He's on his base now. He's on his tactical rock with his base. And I didn't do anything with the rock. And I technically at any point, whenever I'm painting, could just go and fix it to where it looks nice and rocky, but or even like take some sprues, cut them up, apply some to the rock, and have it be little pieces of rubble and rebar and stuff sticking out. Maybe that'd be cool. Maybe I'll do that. But anyways, he's pretty neat. He doesn't look half bad on that little rock. It almost kind of like takes it out, really brings him home, brings him together. I had to put my reference model back because that was like one of the first ever Space Marines I painted, and I already, from the first ones I painted, was like, I want to change it. I want it to be this way. Look at her dude. Look at this guy. The gun came out really nice. Gun's probably my favorite part about this model. The stripe, the backpack isn't half bad. I think I could have done more with the head. I just didn't know what I was really thinking of doing for that. This shoulder pad came out pretty nice. I did some nice little lining in for the inside there. Could have done it a little bit cleaner, but it is what it is. I'm trying to zoom in on the gun because it has 2 X's on the side. Oh, baby, look at that. Beautiful. And the little highlights on the gun and grip. All right, I've been Ren, Explain Carded X, or Connor. I'll see you tomorrow for Paintober D18, or if you want to check out Monday's video. Anyways, I'll see you. Take care.